What is media sociology? Well, today we want to explain it to you. Okay, let's start out by taking a short look at a definition. Media sociology is the study of media and society, their functions and purposes on and within society. Of course, this is just one possible definition, and if you really want to understand it, you have to take a closer look. Well, media sociology, as you might have noticed, consists of two words. Let's begin with media. Of course, everyone knows that word. Everyone talks about media. But what does media really mean? As Mr. Hunziker put it in 1988, the media are the technical and organizational infrastructure for communication. One aspect of media that has a great influence on society are mass media. Mr. McQuail kinda helped us to understand the functions and purposes of mass media by having created this overview. It explains the different players that have influence on or are influenced by mass media. By having access to the mass media, the voices in society can be heard. Mass communicators and the dominant class also have a certain influence on mass media. Mass media have an impact on integration. At the same time, they can control or attain certain goals in society. Media owners, like for example Rupert Murdoch, definitely profit from mass media. If we talk about a dominant class in society, there has to be a subordinate class too. They see the mass media as a chance of causing change. The biggest player talking about mass media is the media audience, of course. People use mass media as a source of information, entertainment, or culture. Apparently, this is a very complex structure. This was just a short overview. So far, we just talked about media. But of course, in media sociology, there also is the word sociology. So let's talk about that. What does sociology really mean? As always, there are definitions. One definition for sociology is the study of human social behavior, especially the study of the origins, organizations, institutions, and development of human society. Another definition states that sociology is the analysis of a social institution or societal segment as a self-contained entity or in relation to society as a whole. Well, of course, we admit that these definitions were pretty hard to understand. But what you should keep in mind is that sociology talks about society. Specifically, there are three levels of analyzing society and its processes. First of all, there's the macro level. The macro level takes a look at society as a whole, at its systems and at the social structure. Going in deeper, we come to the meso level, which includes and represents organizations and institutions. The last, smallest and most detailed is the micro level that deals with small groups, agencies and their interactions. As you can imagine, it's sometimes not easy to exactly classify the different levels. Therefore, it can be very hard to distinguish between them. As you've seen, this is valid for sociology. Macro, meso, and micro are also used in media sociology as well, though. Summing up, we've seen that sociology talks about society. So media sociology deals with media and society. Now we want to concentrate on what links these two worlds. In the following chart, we take a look at some factors that combine media and society, such as mythologies. An example for a myth that is affected by the media as well as by society is, for example, the World Championship of Soccer in 1954 or the escape from the DDR. Ideologies, which are beliefs and values about power and relationships in society. Representations of the world. Mediation of experience and events. Discourses, which represent the way of thinking and talking about a subject. And last but not least, the conventions of media texts. So we've seen how media and society interact, and this leads to a double role of the media. On the one hand, media are the deliverers of description and also prescription of society. So in a way, media are framing society. On the other hand, media are a social institution. Considering that the media act as an agent of constant social and cultural change. So you might ask yourself, what does social change mean in this context? So let's talk about that really quick. It is a change in the structure of a collective. That means in their rules and rituals, including those values and attitudes that characterize a society. This can occur in different forms, such as individualization, domestication, globalization, rationalization, and differentiation of many things. For example, the globalization of political arena is one of the most apparent social changes that is being driven by the media. So it's obvious that human agency is increasingly based on or related to the media use. This phenomenon is called mediatization. In the last couple of minutes, we've been discussing the interesting topic of media sociology, social change, and mediatization. So here are some questions you might want to think about. Do media strengthen the feeling of unity and belonging together within society, or do they support the opposite by diversifying the universe of society into several groups? On what level do media affect society most? Is it possible to match different levels of society with certain levels of sociological analysis of society? Do mass media equal macro media? Is it possible to individualize while being affected by mass media? If so, are we not still consuming an already pre-selected choice of information offered by mass media? As we've already discussed, media are a huge agent of constant social change. Concerning the ongoing debate about Stuttgart 21, one could argue if media are a major cause of the violent escalations which took place not too long ago. So, what do you think?